Exciting stuff. We have a clash between two of snooker's most decorated players with 4 world championship titles each. Please welcome one of Scotland's greatest sportsmen, the Wizard of Wishaw. It's John Higgins. And joining him, a player bidding for his 23rd ranking title. Please welcome the jester from Leicester, it's Mark Selby.
The stage is set. This is the quintessential clash of tactical titans. Proper players in a proper final. Together, they are two of the very best of British. Head-to-head for British Open glory. We could not have a better climax to what's been a wonderful week. So, Ken, any predictions?
Well, I'm going to predict it's going to be a great final, Phil. Could go either way, but yeah, two great champions. As you mentioned, both quintessential match players of the highest degree. What a setting, what a day, and what a venue as well here in Cheltenham, the Centaur. Yeah. Crowds have been brilliant all week, and I'm sure they're all
thank you. The first frame.
Really looking forward to
Mark Selby to break.
As we are here in the commentary box, Phil. Mark Selby gets us underway. Best of 19 final.
Look at the tournament total points. Higgins just 10 more than Selby. In terms of their pathway to the final, it's been arduous for Mark Selby, apart from a walkover against Lim Kok Leong in the second round. He's won 23 frames, lost 16. John Higgins has played an extra match and lost just 6 frames to get here.
Yeah, and I think both players have got better as the tournament has gone on. Mark Selby certainly produced some of his best snooker last night when Mark Allen came back at him. He's looked good. He's had a lot of final frame deciders this week, Mark Selby. He's been really put to the test and showed his class. But I'm sure both players are really looking forward to this test. He's got away with that. Had a result there. Nothing left on into the right centre. Just a safety shot for Mark Selby. Yeah, I mean, it's not only a test of their talent and skill, but a test of their resolve, patience, concentration. Bottle. That's what it'll come down to in the end.
And also, Ken, you know this from your own personal experience. Of course, you want to win matches comfortably, but if you survive one decider after another, it does wonders for how good you feel about your own game and your ability to cope with anything.
Yeah, it gives you great confidence. Everything has been thrown at Mark Selby this week. He's come through it, flying colours. John Higgins might be a bit fresher, there's no doubt about that. His semi-final against Ollie Lyons. Didn't lose a frame, and of course he had the night off as well, so could play a little part in it if this match goes close. It's just such an intriguing match between, well, two of the greatest match players that have ever played the game, no doubt. Both have, particularly in the safety department. Both wonderful scorers and break builders, potters. It's going to be a battle of strategy as well. That's what I'm really looking forward to, as much as anything else, Phil.
Yeah, they're so similar in terms of their modesty, their style of play, their career achievements. There's one big difference, though. John Higgins still to book his place in the Champion of Champions. Mark Selby already there.
So, first slight mistake from John Higgins has left Mark Selby with a possible long pot here. A little fly. Don't kill him, Mark. Good shot. Good opener. Nicely on the brown as well. Always good to start off a final with a good long pot. Get first chance. And it's a decent one. At least another 4 reds in the open. Black will be waiting for him as well. He'll try and get that black on the spot as soon as possible.
And the first sentence I uttered was to describe these two as tactical titans, which of course they are. But they're also brilliant break builders. Mark Selby needs one more century to tie Judd Trump at the top of the list for the season.
Yeah, I think that's where the damage is done. About so astute in that break building department as well. 2 of the best it's ever been. John Higgins already has achieved his 1000th century milestone last week. Selby got a little bit to do before he gets there, but not too far behind.
$21. $22. $24.
Very soon he's got to be contemplating dislodging a few reds from that pack, and that's why he's had a quick look at the. When he pots this red, he's going to try and leave a little bit of an angle on the pink.
25.
Now, what sort of an angle has he got on the pink? Well, it doesn't have any angle. It's too straight, so he's only got one last, unless there's a plant in the middle of that pack. One loose red available, just left-hand side. So this is his last chance. Well, that may be a possibility. A 3-ball plant. He was having a look at it.
31.
We played that nicely.
32.
Very nicely indeed. We did have a look at the plant. Now, we may not be able to go into them direct. May have to. Oh, yeah, maybe can. Just only looking for 1 or 2 out here. Yeah, that was the problem. The angle wasn't great to go into them direct. I thought he may have played off 2 cushions with lots of top spin. Got a bit more power on the cue ball. It's gone wrong. So just a safety left for Mark Selby now.
Mark Selby, 37.
When Selby beat Dave Gilbert 5-4 in the quarterfinals, he started off first scoring visit 37, won that frame. When he goes this far in front, of course it's not decisive, but he's so good at safeguarding a lead, protecting.
Oh, this looks pretty good. A very good line. How's the length? Excellent. What a shot. 4 cushions. Almost inch perfect. And when I say that, tight behind the pink would have been perfect, but John Higgins got a pretty straightforward escape. Played off 2 cushions. The only problem here is the pace has to be good. Just nestle into that pack of 6 reds. Could play a 2-cushion escape and try and get the cue ball back to ball, but I think if he plays at gentle pace, I think he's okay. He's not going to leave any reds on. All about the pace here. Looks a bit steamy. He's okay. Shot. Not much Mark Selby can do here. Only just trundle into the reds here. Maybe try and get one of these reds safe into the side cushion. It's not bad, but if he leaves touch and ball, then it's slight advantage to John Higgins. But at least Mark Selby has put that red safe on that left-hand side cushion. Could play a part further down the road if John Higgins does get a chance.
defensively, that old phrase, when an irresistible force meets an immovable object, something's got to give. Well, it will, but it might take a while.
Yeah, you just saw Mark Selby mutter, good shot, under his breath. Because there's no path back to balk down the right-hand side. And he can't come off those reds around the pink spot. Because the blue is the blocking ball coming down the left-hand side. So maybe off. Try and nestle on this red. Just below the black, but it's again, it's all about pace. Doesn't want to go by the red and leave it on. Oh, is he going to go by it? Oh, what a shot. Very, very, very good. There's been no complaints about the table, Phil, since they recovered it. It's playing so fast and beautiful. Both players got the pace already. John Higgins immediately taking this red back off the cushion. Once again, so important to block the path down this left-hand side.
This is a good commentary stint for you. Ken, you're playing John Higgins tomorrow night in the International Championship qualifiers. Spying mission.
Yeah. I'm sure he's quaking in his boots, Phil.
I'm going to miss.
Ooh.
John Higgins.
Want to leave a free ball. I think he's okay. May put it back from there.
Back. You bring it up for the pink, please.
Going to call a miss, I suppose. The fact that he's called a miss. I suppose he wants it back because he's already called a miss, and if Mark Selby plays the same shot again, doesn't hit the red,
My right.
then he'll be warned.
No. And again to the left. Just a bit more to the touch more to the right.
My right.
Your right. Yeah. Forward. Forward a ball. Half a ball. Half a ball forward. A touch quarter ball to your right. And just a quarter ball forward.
It's like the Chuckle Brothers, this. To me, to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bit to the right, bit to the left.
Looking at where it is. I'm looking there. I can see it there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because that was the other shot. Okay.
Full ball to your right. Just half a ball to your left.
It might be the Chuckle Brothers, but the jester's not laughing.
Yeah. Okay with that? John?
Yeah, so he's going to
you.
play the same
Hey,
shot
Joey.
again. Two cushions, going to try and just clip that red on the right-hand side. Now, see, that's the difference. And that's, unless he
Can't
leaves a
miss.
free ball here, almost the same shot.
John Higgins 6. Yep.
So this time, that's why John Higgins put it back.
Can you bring it up again for that pink?
So now he
It's
will be
important, it needs to be
warned,
right.
and he's got to hit the red. And that makes a big difference now.
Yeah, when it's multiple balls being put back after a miss, it's very difficult for the referees. They've got to be so precise, and that's why they have to take every precaution to get the balls back in their precisely original position.
Yeah. Cue ball's just fractionally out.
It might seem a laborious process, but this is the entirely correct thing to do. Ben Williams, the referee, Julian Bell, the marker.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Done. Thank you.
Okay, the warning should come now.
Mark, I must warn you. If you have to
There you
hit the
go.
ball on this occasion, it will be the friend to your opponent.
So if he doesn't hit a red here, he loses the frame. So he probably has to take this red on. Oh, well, there you go. That's one way of solving that problem. Great shot.
After Mark Selby was warned he could lose the frame, John Higgins now on a warning. He could easily lose the frame without getting back out of his chair.
Nine.
Yeah, it's one of those situations that John Higgins is saying, well, I don't mind him going for the odds against of him getting it, but what a shot he pulled out.
$16. $17.
Gone slightly wrong. Not ideal on the blue, not the right side. So cue ball, he does take it in and out of ball. There's a bit of traffic there. The green off the spot doesn't help, so he may just drop this blue in and take the red from distance. Pink with the rest. Yellow it is. Cue ball has to travel quite a distance here. It's pretty good. Very, very good from there.
19.
But he's going to need another good one. This is missable. Virtually frame ball if he gets it.
$20.
Early indications very positive for Selby. It's not been a spectacular frame, but it's been very efficient.
Well, that was a wonderful shot. Really,
27.
to get that much power in the cue ball off the side cushion. Of course.
28.
Dead straight cueing, and he's played it very, very well. Quick glance at the score, 53 ahead. Blue and one more red required. Seal the first frame.
$33.
When he pots from distance, and he's knocked two crackers in this frame, when he scores, We know he's been doing that with his defensive wall. How can you beat him?
$34.
At his best, he really is the complete player and the most ruthless winner imaginable.
Yeah, I mean, when he's playing like this, you know, all the
41.
facets of his game are all very high percentages. And that's what makes him so difficult
42.
to play against. Safety, his long potting, break building, all quality when he's on form and when he's confident. And that's what sort of scuppered him over the last little while. It's just his own
49.
sort of belief in himself. No matter what he's won, you know, he spoke about it very openly. Just
50.
as he said, it was quite rightly so. Confidence is a current thing. No matter what you've won over the years, if you're not feeling your best or you're not feeling confident, it comes and goes. But he seems to have gathered momentum this week, I feel, and got more confident as the week has gone on. Coming
55.
through all those tough matches, producing quality finishes in the last frame. And that gives you confidence.
56.
Never any doubt that.
You're spot on, Ken. All players crave confidence.
63.
But Selby is a confidence monster. When he's got it, he's ferocious.
Marcel is 63 in the front.
2 scoring visits. Breaks of 37. Then, from that cracking red, 63. 1-0 Selby. The players
Okay, John.
are competing for a
Second
first
frame.
prize of £100,000 and for the Clive Everton Trophy. A lot was said at the top of the programme about how much Clive would have relished this final. And of course he would. He held these two in the very highest regard. They played the game in the manner he appreciated most.
Yeah, I'm sure he's looking him down and enjoying this final as we are. How poignant it is as well. He passed as the players played for his trophy. Great tribute.
Wow.
Now, where's the red going to
John
finish?
Higgins 4.
Well, you'd have to say it's a half chance for John Higgins. As we see this missed pot and then off again for Mark Selby. So first little test there, it was cue action. Pot the red, hole for the black. Normally so proficient with this particular type of shot. Hasn't had much table time though. Well, that's better.
One.
Very good.
Eight. Nine.
Yeah. red. In a way, he's just bringing other reds into play, but didn't want to lose the cue ball to the right-hand side cushion. It's far enough away from the cushion that he can sort of stun it, the black in, and create an angle for his next red. But yeah, he has to dig down on it. When you're digging down, makes the pot that little bit more difficult. He played it well. Played it very well. You see the ball bouncing.
16.
When it's bouncing, you know, it's just a bit more difficult to control. When you see the cue ball bounces before it hits the black, and even the black will bounce before it goes into the pocket.
$17.
This time he's got a wonderful angle on the black, and there's a lovely gap in between the reds, directly above the black. We can get into the middle of those reds. Oh, this should split nicely. Didn't get right into the middle, but he's okay. He's got a couple of options.
24. $25.
No, this one.
Yeah, sure.
If you believe in omens, you'll fancy Higgins' chances today. He's won the British Open 4 times, the last twice, 2001, 2004. On both occasions, he completed 6-0 semi-final whitewashes. 2001 over Mark King, 2004 over Sean Murphy, and of course, he won yesterday's semi-final by whitewash as well. Another fine shot, Ken.
32.
Yeah, very similar to Mark Selby's in the previous frame. Beautiful cueing. Perfect on the red.
33.
Early signs, both players in really good form. I think the red just beneath the pink will pot into this bottom right corner pocket. This time he's played the little cannon into the three reds, and it's worked out a treat.
40.
Yeah, that was the red he was looking at. I think that does pot. He's giving himself, well, a wonderful chance now.
41.
Good long red to start. And within a few shots, that's the reds exactly where he wants them. So important, Phil, isn't it? You know, even in a best of 19 final, your opponent wins the first
48.
frame quite convincingly. You come back with a counter attack in the next, and then of course both players are settled
49.
in. This is good stuff. And sort of also sends a message to that man. If he makes a mistake, John Higgins gonna pounce.
Yes, before a ball was struck, it was one of those
56.
finals where you understood the bookmakers installing Selby as favourite. But John Higgins more than capable of ending that title drought, which extends back 3.5 years. When he won that Players' Championship in 2021, he was so dominant, so comprehensive in the way he dispatched opponents. You would have thought he would have won a handful of trophies since.
$64.
Yeah, that was another beautiful positional shot. The amount of pace he put into the cue ball, but didn't really travel that far. Just beautiful stun off the cushion.
65.
Now on the precipice here of getting his final off the mark. Black will put him 76 ahead. Just 75 on the remaining. So frame ball Black. Taking his time. Very good.
$72.
The reputation of Mark Selby precedes him. John Higgins desperate to pop one more red to gain vital security. Six reds still on the table, so 75 there. Selby, as it stands, needs only one snooker.
Yeah, and that will stop Mark Selby coming back to the table. That was important. And now he can concentrate on keeping the break going and hopefully make a century. It won't be easy. Great start to the final. Let's hope it's a case of Phil. Whatever you can do, I can do as well. That's what you want. Two great champions. Slugging it out in the final. Oh, he's missed the important one. But he's won the frame, I'm sure.
Just as we were getting excited about the possibility of a very big break, Higgins misses, but he does equalise. John Higgins with a very stern expression. Total concentration today required.
Thank you, the third frame.
To overcome Mark Selby.
Mark Selby to break. Take your seats quickly, please.
But the fact remains, Selby needs total concentration to overcome John Higgins. First two frames shared. I think it's an excellent match to come.
So good. Worth another look. Beautiful. Right in the heart of the pocket. Is he on the black though? Is he low enough for this black? I think he is. Well, it certainly wiped its feet.
Ken, so often when you hit this near jaw, the ball is repelled. Higgins delighted on that occasion. He just about flopped in. So it's, again, red-black for him. That's what he's doing at the moment. Red and then the highest value colour.
Thank you. 9.
Yeah, judge the pace. Once again, to perfection. Can he play the black and just nudge the red in front of it? Just trying to stay even on the red, just to the right of the black would be okay. Yeah, just a little nudge on the red. Has he lost the cue ball? Slightly.
$16.
This is not straightforward.
Yeah, sure.
Got to play with the spider. If he plays it just with topspin, I'm not quite sure what he can get on the black here. He may have to play a little cannon into the black, but that makes the shot even more difficult. Referee getting his eagle eye ready, just in case John hits that red with his cue. Yeah, he had to play the black, but he's played it really well. Excellent shot.
17. $24. $25.
Oh, this would be an interesting choice. Does he go up
32.
for blue? Does he try and stay on the black? If he tries to stay on the black, well, then you will know his intention. He's having a look at the pink. Looks like it's going to be pink, so no idea of maximum breaks on his mind. Well, he's going for the blue. Well, it's not 100% certain. Pink is slightly away from the reds, as you can see. Got to hit a full ball. Always need a bit of luck. It's not too bad. Red into the left centre.
38.
Real examination this. We've seen quite a few of this kind of pot miss this week, often to that near jaw. Not this time. Centre cut.
39.
Oh, another wonderful shot from John Higgins.
41.
Could have been a little bit kinder. He's blocked the path of the black into the left corner. There you see it, so he's going to have to go up for. Unless the black. Yeah, I'm going to say if the black potted into the
42.
right corner, but I don't think it did, so he had to go up for the blue. This time not top side, so cue ball has to go in and out of bulk. Another excellent shot from John Higgins. That is inch perfect. Well played.
47.
Suddenly, after losing that first frame, Higgins just walked into the zone. Looks really good. They both do.
Yeah, and I think he's upped his game. You know, even in that semi-final, though he didn't drop a frame, he made a few uncharacteristic mistakes, missed a few pots. But he's definitely upped his game because, obviously, he's playing that man, and he needed to. Looking
54.
very, very sharp indeed. A little bit of adrenaline. In the back arm there, he's over the cue ball for the blue into the right centre. May take the blue into the corner. Try and drop on that red just to the right of the black. No problem whatsoever. Great stuff this so far. Still a few pots away from winning another frame in one visit. Gone wrong. Tried to kiss that red, left of the black, get into the cue ball, didn't get enough screw on it. So only a safety now, just misses the red, the hole for the black. Trying to put a colour safe, get some insurance, keep the pressure on.
John Higgins, 60.
Great break, nonetheless. Tapping the table from his opponent with appreciation.
And that is John Higgins and indeed Mark Selby all over. OK, the disappointment of losing position, but when they tried to get a colour safe, look where the brown is. Dead safe. Well, with all of the blacks being potted in the second frame, that was exciting stuff. But I think in terms of its construction, the 60 Higgins has just made there was perhaps a little better.
This would be a clever shot. Try and play the red off the cushion and dislodge the four reds. Bring them into play if he can. Not quite sure whether he's got the angle to do that. Yes, he has. And also get the cue ball safe. Excellent shot from Mark Selby. This is what you're up against, Phil. He's so clever. He sees all the shots. as indeed his opponent does. Never misses a trick.
Higgins will now want to start the process of messing up the frame, making it as awkward as possible. As for Selby, he wants the balls as open as possible to facilitate the counter-attack if he gets the chance.
One.
Very good pot. But he's 59 points behind. 59 remaining, so he needs colour. If he pots yellow and green, it doesn't means he doesn't have much to play with in regards points wise. But he has a chance. So 56 behind, 59 remaining. He could play this red, knock the red to the right of the pink, off the cushion, and stay on the pink. He can afford at least the pink. That's why he's just doing his arithmetic at the moment. But this is it. He's got a wonderful angle on this red. If he just nudges into that red, just to the right of the pink, knock that over the middle, could be on the pink into the corner. Chance this. Oh, he didn't catch a full ball.
Well, he can afford one blue. If he knocks the blue in, he'll be 50 behind, 51 on. Then it would be all blacks with the 3 reds required.
Yeah, it's no good. Bit unlucky there. He tried to play into the black off that blue, hit the red on the way down. He could still pot the red, but as you pointed out, Phil, he needs blacks with the 3 remaining reds, so no point in taking that red on. That's not good.
Selby 10.
That's a mistake.
Even to the point of knocking the yellow safe. Everything is against Mark Selby here. Take that. But here's the respect. 51 up, 43 on, 2 snookers needed
Green
to
ball.
force a respotted black. And yet Higgins not dropping his guard in the slightest.
Higgins 1 and the frame.
So there you go. John Higgins helped by a break of 60, then some good tactical stuff in one wonderful pot. is in front at 2-1. Welcome back to the Centaur in Cheltenham and the final of the Unibet British Open, where John Higgins had to battle an intruder at the end of the third frame that even security couldn't stop. First, a fly lands on his hand. He gets up, gets back down. And the same miscreant lands on the eyebrow. Attack from all sides.
Yeah. The fourth frame, John Higgins to break.
But, most importantly, not attacked by Selby in each of the last two frames. Higgins' vast experience that he's accumulated will want to press home the advantage. If what we've seen so far is a sign of things to come, we're in for a treat. Both players, very good pot success rate. Breaks going in, 63 from Selby in the first, 80 and 60 from Higgins in the next two. Precious few mistakes are being committed, Ken.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, you can build up a final when the two great players are going head to head, and sometimes it can be a little bit of an anti-climax, but certainly not this one. On what we've seen so far, both players in great form. There's all the ingredients being a memorable British Open final here in Cheltenham. Didn't want to hit the brown, but the way it's landed, it's a little bit awkward to take that red on just above the black. The brown was out of the way, of course. He'd have no hesitation. The fact that he's bridging over the brown, he can't take that on. Selby's come down to see if there's anything available when he plays the safety shot. Nothing there. Oh, he hasn't hit this too well. Short of pace. First observation, he hasn't left too much. Possible red into the right corner pocket, but not straightforward to get out onto a colour. That's the one. There is a pathway over the black spot and around the back of the black. Oh, very good. And he's found the pathway, but a little bit too pacey. Good pot, though.
John Higgins won.
Long pot success rate decent, more than decent from both. And when your opponent is knocking them in from distance, the premium is on good safety, and that's why Selby shot there. Again, right at the top draw.
Yeah, it was a bit pacey, but it's just a good line. Right behind that green. How does he find a pathway back to ball care? Could possibly play a 2-cushion escape. Left-hand side cushion as we look here. Top cushion. Try and clip one of the reds just to the right of the black. But very risky, very high tariff. Shot time coming up to 1.5 minutes. Needs a bit of luck. It went wrong. Didn't hit it the way he wanted to. What has he left? Yeah, that red is potable past into this right corner, and there is a gap between the two reds and the black. Good maneuver to cue ball through that gap, back up for blue ball colour, but it's very tight. That's why he's coming on the back of the pocket to have a good look at it. Always a good idea. Decided it was too risky. No, he's left this red, and well, once again, he's got to negotiate the cue ball through a bit of traffic. Makes the pot that bit more difficult. Oh, he's played it very well.
One.
Excellent.
That's the vibe in a match when both players are sharp. even the slightest of mistakes can be fully exploited.
Three.
Four.
Well played and cleverly visualised. But this kind of pink is always a pressure ball.
Ten. $11.
Yeah, he had a look at the pink, but obviously it doesn't pot into that corner pocket. So, but that last red that he just potted, that opens the pink at least into the left corner pocket. That will help his cause. So if you can negotiate this cue ball when potting the brown, or indeed the blue, get nicely on one of these reds around the pink. Be able to play for that pink into the left corner. Just got to miss the red just below the black here. He has done. Excellent shot. And now we can play. We're potting the next red for that pink into the left corner.
15.
And potting this red will open the pink into the right corner. So real opportunity to go into the interval now. All
16.
square. Such a wonderful spectacle, Phil, when both players are really at the top of the game, you know, knocking in long balls. And when they're getting in, they look so sharp.
Reminiscent so far, small sample size admittedly, but reminiscent of the Higgins-Williams
22.
Crucible final.
$23.
You know, we outline and list all of the assets of these two players. Also, what about lateral thinking? The way he's plotted this break. Made all the right moves at the right time.
$29.
Just wondering, does he pot this red, just nudge the red away from the black, bring the black into play? If it doesn't go according to plan, he'll still be on the pink into the right centre, but he's got a lovely little angle on this red, just to nudge into the red, just above the black. Yeah.
30.
Of course, he doesn't want to pot the black because that will go, there's no spots available, so that would go beneath the pink. But the angle on the pink is not tremendous, so it might be a case of I'm going to have to pot the black here.
Yeah, sure.
Needing the extended rest. And with cue ball and black so close together, has to be delicate here.
Thank you.
When he came to the table, there were so many intricacies, so many problems to solve, and now the black is having been out of commission. All right, but Ben Williams might be complicating the situation a little more here.
He's got to get it as close
Thank you.
to the pink as
37.
possible, but it still will be potable into this right corner pocket. No doubt about that.
$38. Black ball.
Yeah, he really has articulated this break. Beautiful precision so far. Still got a little bit to do.
$45.
Yeah, you see Mark come around
46.
to have a look at the black. It obviously pots into the left corner as well, so no problem. Yeah, there you see it.
Black ball.
When it comes to snooker, people associate mental shrewdness with defence. And of course, they are attached, associated quite rightly. Of course,
53.
you've got to execute. And he's done them both. Conception and execution.
$54. Black ball.
He's played that beautifully as well. Lots of top spin out for that red. This has been the best break of the match so far.
61.
All 4 frames have been quality, but for me, just the way he's gone about this
62.
break. That was the red he needed to put John
Black ball.
Higgins in the snooker's required stage, but this will stop John Higgins coming back to the table. Yeah, very, very good. Excellent break this, really is. Top quality. Had to maneuver that cue ball with pinpoint accuracy. Black was tied up when he came to the table.
69. $70.
Yeah, what a treat. On a Sunday afternoon, Phil. 2 of the best players have played the game, going head to head, and nothing separating them at the interval.
75.
Yes, the question is, will Mark Selby win his 23rd world ranking title? Will Higgins win his 32nd?
76.
After 4 frames, we are no nearer an answer. What Selby could do here, though, is make his 20th century of the season.
79.
Yeah, and of course that's important as well. They want to make centuries, all these top players. It's a race to 100 centuries in the season for the bonus of 100,000. It's going to be
Thank you.
pretty close between a few
80.
players come towards the end of the season. If they keep going at the rate and pace they've started off the season at. Another excellent shot. Look at that.
85.
Beautiful control.
The red refuses to drop. We've arrived at the mid-session interval. The early exchanges have been simply superb. John Higgins 2, Mark Selby 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back the players in John Higgins and Mark Selby with referee Ben Williams.
Two all-time greats delivering very much in the here and now. It's been an excellent start, hasn't it? Mark Selby and John Higgins both on it.
Thank you. The 5th frame. Max Selby to break.
Could argue Higgins hasn't been unduly pushed in this event. Clearly that's going to be different today, and he's responded. And it seems Mark Selby has raised his game round by round. Very evenly matched, and so often before now brought the best out in one another. So 4 big frames here. Can either one of them just get an edge coming back tonight? Is it going to be all square? We'll find out over the next hour or so.
Yeah, John, when he came into the studio yesterday after winning semi-final, and I agree with him, he hates semi-finals. So there's almost more pressure in a semi-final than today, because you want to get to the final. But once you get to today, then you can relax, and you just seem to be able to play your best snooker. And that's exactly what's happened. Both players are just so comfortable on a Sunday, basically, at the tournament. Long match. You know, the trophies at the end of it. But there's been so few unforced errors in this final. Such a high standard. Great to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be special. Whoever comes through, Mark Selby, his last ranking title was 18 months ago. Of course, for John Higgins, 3.5 years. I mean, what a difference a week makes. You know, this time last week, it felt like Higgins was at a career crossroads, dropping out the top 16. All that's gone away. He's back in. Could be back in the winner's circle in a few hours.
One.
Lovely pot, lovely pace. It's going to land on the black, and I'm sure he'll be going into the bunch here. Screwing the cue ball back towards the left side of the table, back towards him for a red to right corner. To left corner. Beautiful split.
8.
Play for the red that's next to the black into the same pocket, which will obviously clear the black to both corners.
$24. 25.
You could see the disappointment. Sort of
32.
look to the skies there. Don't think he'll be playing for black off this red. At least 6 inches short with a screw shot. So up for the blue.
33.
I'm sure he's probably a little bit disappointed in that he couldn't go for the 147 there. He would have realised what a chance it was. Obviously winning the frame is a priority. The way this match is on a knife edge, really.
Yeah, it feels like
38.
you've really got to take every chance you get, because you might be shut out otherwise. Higgins just keeping watch.
$39.
Selby, of course, faced another member of the class of '92 last year here, Mark Williams. Came out the wrong side there, 10-7.
$46.
He's had generally a good record in finals. His best run, he won 11 in a row, and that was only ended when he lost in the shootout final, which is a
47.
ranking event, but just 10 minutes. But he's lost the last 2 he's been in.
There's been a huge transformation in his general body language around the table, really.
54.
Did the match midway through the tournament against Wan Si-jun when he won 4-3. Made a really good clearance. And pretty much the
55.
whole of that match, he looked really down in the dumps and didn't look like he was enjoying himself at all. But then the next match against Tepchaya, he looked completely different. He looked like he was enjoying it out there and carried it on to last night and today. And he does look back to his best.
$61.
Yeah, I think what Phil said about him is absolutely right. He needs confidence, Selby. He's not the sort of player who's just happy to coast along at the top of the game, you know, picking up the money. It's only meaningful to him if he's playing well, if he's getting the results and getting the trophies. Because we know he puts so much into it.
Thank you. 62.
So one more red to really kill the frame off clinically. And that's pot success there in live play. So before snookers are needed 98%, Selby.
Yeah, but one of the most impressive
69.
things about this final so far for me is again the unforced errors, and nothing easy has been missed.
70.
Which in itself is a huge thing in snooker. So often you'll see an easy shot or a bad positional shot, but it's very straightforward. But both players they're on it today.
75.
This break has been flawless from start to finish from Mark Selby.
$76.
Was the slight fault early on when he had to go up for the blue, didn't get on the red properly, but that's been very, very picky.
82.
It's been an absolutely exceptional visit to the table.
83.
He pretty
89.
much sat out frames 2 and 3 to go 2-1 behind. And the last 2 frames,
90.
he's done the exact same to his opponent. Wonderful stuff so far.
This break launched by an excellent long red. Higgins has done nothing wrong.
96.
Mark Selby's done everything right.
$97.
So this is to tie Judd Trump at the top of the centuries board for the season with 20. It's Mark Selby's 6th century of the tournament.
104. Oh, 105.
Well, I tell you what, some finals take a bit of time to get going. This has been excellent from frame 1, and if anything's getting better and better. 4 very interesting frames here. Mark Selby hoping now he's won this one, he might be able to open up a gap coming back tonight.
110.
Isn't it great, though, to see him feeling good again? We know he's had his problems, he's talked about them. At the World Championship he was talking about not even playing again. Break between seasons
112.
did him good, got some perspective. And now he's looking back to his brilliant best again.
$115. $119. $124. $130.
Well, just impeccable. Excellent break in an excellent final. And Mark Selby is back in front, leading John Higgins 3-2. Still 3 frames to play in the afternoon session. Tonight, live from 6:45, we'll be on ITV3 tonight. So ITV3 for the conclusion, 6:45 with the build-up. Well, there's never been
6th frame.
more than a frame between
John
them.
Higgins
But of
to
course,
break.
Mark Selby, as I say, can open up a gap here in the next few frames. That 137 was superb. But from what we've seen from Higgins this afternoon, he's just as capable. Of course, he's had breaks of 80 and 60 himself. Of course, they played 2 World Finals. They were very different affairs. The first one, Selby was actually a qualifier. He was still young, and he was 12-4 down after the first day. He won 6 frames in a row in the afternoon, and then they came off because they were taking so long, which must have been a bit of a relief for Higgins. And when he regrouped for the final session, he got the match won. Ten years later, though, it was Selby who got his revenge. That was in that spell. He had 4 years as world #1. He was winning world titles, a lot of other big tournaments as well. He really was the best player at that point. John Higgins now 32 minutes without a pot. But that clock can stop now, can't it? What a lovely shot that is.
Yeah, beautiful shot. It really was. The pace he played it at, just to take the cue ball off the bunch of reds to be perfect on the black. Doesn't get much better than this.
8. Nine.
Brilliant to see John Higgins back playing like this. Kind of the last 2 or 3 years been sort of left behind. The other class of 92, Ronnie and Mark, have been winning things and sort of taking a bit of the glory away
16.
from John, but he's back to his best. And this week, what I've liked about him is he's been finishing matches off convincingly in one visit, where he was sort of stuttering
17.
a little bit to get over the line in a lot of matches.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's been going deep over the last few years without winning tournaments. He's actually lost 7 of his last 8 ranking finals, including the last 4. So that 2021 Players' Championship, where he destroyed everyone. Remember, he limited Mark Selby to 7 points in their match there. That was his last major success.
$22.
Yeah, they didn't really split, but he is still on 1.
$23. $30.
Yeah, very important to make sure you know what shot you're playing before you get down, so you're clear in your mind. You can fully commit to the shot. I miss more shots in my career for that reason than any other. Just getting down and not being fully convinced in your own mind what shot you're playing. Worst thing you can do as a snooker player is change your mind while you're down on the shot.
$35. $36.
Not the easiest bunch to go into here. He's just looking at the two reds pointing towards that left middle. He may just play a little gentle cannon on the red that's closest to the black of those two and just push one towards the left middle. I'm not sure if he can go in from the angle he's got at full pace. Just because it's a flat back to the pack, is if he goes in with a lot of screw, the cue ball could end up coming back towards the right corner pocket. I think just a stun onto that red, and the one that's next to it should get promoted towards the left middle. Yeah, he's not happy about the angle on the black to go into them. He's even looking at playing the red that's on the left cushion. The two reds directly above the black, the left one of those, if he catches that, pretty much full ball, maybe a little bit to the left, it pushes the other one towards the middle pocket. And see, he decided to go in with screw, and that's what I meant. The cue ball was always coming back to the right side of the table. They weren't a great bunch to go into.
43.
For John Higgins, that wasn't a good shot, in my opinion.
John Higgins, 43.
Well, such as he is standard with his final, John goes back to his chair and you can see he's disappointed. He hasn't won the frame in one visit.
One.
Well, another stunner from Selby. Could argue Higgins' safety
Brown ball.
wasn't quite one of his best, but even so, a great pot. Frames have really all been one-sided so far. We haven't seen one from behind, but Mark Selby
5.
would love to change that here and just change the dynamic in the final.
Yeah, usually what decides these finals when the two players are so closely matched is winning the frames that you're not supposed to so far. Both players are winning the frames in one visit. But yeah, these frames that you can pinch from 40 or 50 behind become the telling frames at the end of the day.
Six.
For a snooker player, they're almost better than making a century break or a total clearance, these frames, where you're pinching them with a winning clearance. But it doesn't look like he's going to do it this visit unless he's on the red to left middle.
13.
Cue ball and object ball very close together, but he's looking at it intently. Doesn't have to do much for the cue ball. The pink's available to right middle, so he's obviously on this red. Now, if he's dead straight in the pink, it's awkward, because you can see nothing goes. Well, it doesn't look like anything goes to left corner, unless the red that's closest to the pink spot maybe squeezes through. Yeah, he's coming round. This is the only red available, I think.
$20.
What we've not seen is glaring misses in this final. I mean, Higgins ran out of position there. Maybe his safety, you could argue, could have been better, but he didn't miss. Just didn't get on a red. So Higgins is playing well, but must be concerned watching on now in this frame.
27. $28. $34. $35. $42.
You may have heard watching sports, people talk about being in the zone. Mark Selby is in it right at this point in time. Just doesn't look like missing.
43.
I say, when he's scoring heavily, it's always going to have the incredible tactical game. And when he starts scoring and not missing pots, it's pretty much unplayable.
50.
You've got to play yourself pretty much perfect snooker. And John Higgins has been pretty close but just didn't find the baulk cushion
51.
with a safety shot, and this has been the result.
Yes, it's what he's done so many times. Stepped in and won a crunch frame from behind, seizing on the slightest error from an opponent.
I mean, that strike of the cue ball was just pure.
55. $56. $61. Thank you. 63.
A bit short, the cue ball. One pot away from leaving John needing a snooker. So I don't think he'll be doing anything with too much check side to stay on the brown. Just make sure he pots the green. It's there. As you can see, no heroics to try and stay close to the brown. You can't strike the cue ball any better than this. It's an absolute masterclass.
$75.
The sound it makes when he's striking the cue ball is perfection.
$81.
Yes, this is about as well as you can play this game. 1-3-7 in the last. Seized on the opening in this one and clears up with 88. So for the first time, there's 2 frames between them. Mark Selby on the march in this final, leading by 4 frames to 2 with 2 left to play. Welcome back. Well, Mark Selby and John Higgins have won 53 ranking titles between them and both desperate for another one. This is the list of the all-time winners. Ronnie O'Sullivan at the top on 41, Stephen second on 36. John Higgins looking to move 1 closer to him. Judd Trump, of course, has passed Steve Davis, 29 plays 28. Although in Steve's day, it has to be said early on, certainly there weren't that many. The early UK championships, for example, weren't ranking events. Mark Williams at 26, of course, he won the Tour Championship and indeed this British Open last season. Neil Robertson moved up to 24 last week, winning the English Open. And there's Mark Selby just behind him. He can get 1 closer, of course, today. And then there's a bit of a gap. Ding Junhui on 14. Sean Murphy on 12, but that is some list, isn't it? Just to be on, never mind where you are on it. And John Higgins currently in 3rd position. But in this match, 2 big frames coming up. He's not done a lot wrong since the interval, let's be honest, but he hasn't had to. Selby has just stepped it up, and he leads 4-2. We're just waiting for Mark Selby, but a chance now, certainly to take a lead into tonight, possibly a commanding one at 6-2. It's all part of the intrigue of these long matches. But certainly if you're to win this one, then it would put a lot of pressure on John Higgins in the last of the afternoon to get something out of this session. Mark Selby has looked so good.
Matt, ready when you are. The 7th frame. Mark Selby to break.
Despite the random draw format and shorter matches early on, a few complaints about tables, all the rest of it, we've ended up with 2 Hall of Famers here in the final, and they are producing the goods, particularly in the last half an hour. Mark Selby.
One.
I think because John's playing so well, and they just want to, both players just want to get in and win frames in one visit. I think he was like, even looking at the green to pot it, but decided no, it's just maybe a step too far.
John Higgins 1.
A little bit clumsy with the cue ball there, John. He's just got to. There's a big 2 frames these are in this afternoon session to stay with Mark Selby. At worst case scenario, John wants to win at least one of them. 6-2 behind. I'm not sure I'd fancy his chances tonight. Wouldn't write him off, but the way Mark's playing, you wouldn't want to reverse that deficit.
I mean, that was very tough, but any missed pot from Selby is a cause for celebration right now for Higgins. But he himself now has to do a bit of damage, get back into this session.
One.
Nothing he hasn't seen before, of course. This is his 56th appearance in a ranking final. It's 30 years since his first. 29 years since he first won this British Open. In fact, he couldn't remember who'd beaten in the final. It's actually Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Five.
Yeah, it's a little shake of the head. Didn't really want to be on this red. He wanted to be further up the table to play the red closest to the black. Deep screw here.
6.
Yeah, that's pretty well played, actually. You can play off one cushion for the red that's to the left of the pink to left corner. The only thing is, I'm not sure the black doesn't pot to right corner. So we'll have to play for pink or blue off this red.
$14.
Just a reminder as we watch this, tonight's final session will be live on ITV3. So ITV3 this evening from 6:45.
Fabulous shot.
$20. $21.
The 2 reds that are at the back of the bunch, just above and to the left of the black. If you could, some I'll find a way to cannon the right-hand side. One of those would guarantee leaving one to left corner. And just got the first red. That's not the red he intended to hit. But that is a result and a half. That little flick just at the very end.
28.
Just watch the cue ball here. Just flicks this red and leaves himself on the red to left corner. Just going to be wary of the right middle here. Should be okay. Yeah, nowhere near it.
29.
And you'll be tempted to go into them again here. Basically, you're taking the cue ball over the pink spot. You think at very worst scenario, you'll have the red to left middle. I think it's worth going into them here. Got into the cue ball too much. Just a couple of times, he's not playing the splits
34.
well. Going into reds, breaking into reds, he's just not getting the right connection on the cue ball. 2 or 3 in the last couple of frames, both off the black and that one from the blue. This is awkward now, very awkward cueing. This is easily missed.
Yes, and it's round about the position in the last frame where he broke down. And of course, didn't get another shot.
You'll probably be putting the cue ball somewhere in the black cushion here to play the red. It's closest to the right corner. You could play for the red to left corner, but because the black doesn't go into the right corner pocket, I think bringing the cue ball down to this black cushion somewhere. It's got a lot of margin for error. Twice across the table. Yeah, perfectly played.
$41. $42.
John Higgins, of course, grew up in the UK snooker boom of the 1980s. He was a big Steve Davis fan. And then, of course, was inspired by Stephen and his achievements coming from Scotland. He also credits our own Alan McManus with really helping him when he was young. Of course, now pretty much everyone in the game looks up to him.
$50.
A little tester here to keep the break going. Straight blue to the yellow pocket, screw the cue ball back. It's a shot that, even the cue ball further away from the blue, that the players practice for hours and hours. And that's why, because the amount of times you have to play that shot when you don't get position pink or black, you want to keep the break going. It's such an important shot to be able to play well.
$56.
coming to the crucial time. This break is 2 pots away from securing it. One good positional shot here. Blue with some 62 in front with 67 on, so after this blue, another red, certainly another colour. Again, it's just another wonderful visit to the table.
61.
Live pot success, 96% John, 98% Mark. It doesn't get much better. That secures the frame.
62.
We're just not missing anything that they're supposed to pot. That's the incredible thing for me.
Yeah, Selby went for a tough long red, left a chance. There was pressure on Higgins here after what happened in the last frame, but this is how he's responded. Be interesting to see if they can keep this up tonight as we get nearer
69.
to the winning line, the pressure comes on. If they do, this will be one of the all-time great finals if it remains close.
70.
Yes, already one of the best sessions of snooker I've ever seen or commentated on. Because you've got both players at the top of their game. A lot of the time you see one player at the top of their game dominating, but
76.
both players are, I say, doesn't get much better than this.
77.
Yeah, in live play, we've only had 5 pots missed, and, you know,
84.
most of those have been difficult pots.
85.
Clive would have enjoyed this, David.
Yeah, absolutely. What a fitting tribute to him. 2 players he admired greatly.
$92.
Now Higgins has won this frame. Of course he wants 4-4, but the last frame doesn't feel quite so big.
93.
Had it been 5-2 and he would have been sort of hanging on. Anyway, this is for a century. Selby's had one this afternoon. What a final this is. 2 giants of the game really bringing it.
100. $102. $105.
Yeah, I must admit the last 2 or 3 seasons I didn't start to doubt whether John had these performances left in him. Yeah, it's been well documented. He's dropped down the rankings. But
109.
this is phenomenal.
The little shimmy didn't keep the cue ball out, but he'd done the damage and then some. 109 from the Wizard of Wishaw. Terrific match. 1 frame to play this afternoon. Selby's lead has been reduced to 4-3. Welcome back to Cheltenham. What a treat it's been watching 2 players, 2 great players at the top of their games. Mark Selby leads John Higgins 4-3. This is the last of the session before we come back tonight.
John Higgins to break.
Higgins looking to level up. Mark Selby to open a 2-frame advantage.
John goes back to his seat, disappointed with the break-off. You can clearly see the red left onto right corner, and he's not found the baulk cushion with the cue ball. Well, I think John Higgins knew what was coming up. And Mark Selby playing it deliberately with a pace to... Didn't think of getting the cue ball back in baulk in case he missed it, deliberately playing it short. It's got a perfect angle in the blue should he want to go into the pink here, but I don't think he will, because he might block the black up even more. Look at the work on the cue ball. So little effort. That is just timing
6.
and delivery.
Seven.
Yeah.
Playing for the red, it's closest to the black here, to the right corner. Clearing the black to both pockets. And from that red, he'll be hoping to get an angle in the black to go into the main bunch. So he'll be hoping to be pretty straight on this red to right corner.
$12.
He's not straight, but it's not a problem. You want to finish sort of level with the black.
13.
Perfect, so into the bunch. I wouldn't have thought I'd be playing this with maximum pace. You just want to bring out maybe 3, 4, 5 reds, leave himself the open red to the left corner. We can only go by reading the body language that
20.
he's not on this red. He's disgusted. He said he was never going to go into them with full pace. But that's unlucky if he's not on this red. There wasn't a red to the right of the cue ball. You'd be able to impart a little bit of right-hand side and try and get the cue ball round the other one to pot this. Not sure if he can do it. Well, he could.
21.
Might puts his hand up to his opponent because he sort of made out that it wasn't on the red at first, and then he's got down and potted it. Because he had to sort of bend the cue ball, he couldn't really play for an angle in the black, just had to make sure the pot. So this needs striking of the highest order. I mean, he's just puring every shot.
28. $29. $34. $35.
Didn't choose to play into the pack from the blue because you can see if you go into the pink, it's just going to send those 3 reds in a line in the wrong direction. So big target from the green. Right hand side cushion, touch your right hand side. Anxious look to see if he's on this red to the
38.
right corner. think he is. Again, not the worst kiss in the blue. You can drop on this red to the left of the black. To right corner. The best feeling as a snooker player in a final. You're playing this well, you're in the zone, you're seeing everything so clearly. And one shot to the next. Because you're hitting the ball so well. So the game just is so easy. It just comes so easy.
44.
What separates the best from the rest is being able to play this way in the most important matches and finals.
.45.
Yeah, it's where Selby's been for so much of his career. But the last time we saw him, though, here on ITV at the Tour Championship, when he lost to Gary Wilson in round 1, he was talking about how basically he wanted to pack it in. It just shows you how emotionally, mentally demanding the sport is.
Another example of how good he is at screwing the cue ball here. That's just awesome.
.52.
The angle he's got in this red, obviously he's just going to have to settle for playing a high black. Can't get up for blue, can't play for pink to right middle. He's got to make sure he pots this red. And say
53.
high on the black. And not sure whether... He's looking at the red next to the pink to right middle. With the angle on the black's quite acute. He's got to really kill the pace of the cue ball here off the cushion with drag. Gone a little bit too far, only because he potted the black thin.
60.
Which made the cue ball travel more. It was another beautiful shot.
.61.
Well, the pocket just takes it. He's nicely on the black, and this will leave John Higgins leading a snooker. This is the best Mark Selby's played in a long, long time. He's got better as the tournament's gone on. He's dodged a couple of last gasp defeats along the way. But now he is playing the sort of snooker that saw him reach the very top of the sport. It's been brilliant. But John Higgins has also played to a high standard, so it promises to be some evening.
68.
Higgins is behind, but only by 2. It was first to 10, remember, to be British Open champion.
Yeah, John's
69.
basically had to play his best just to get 3 frames, to be 2 behind. I think both players are inspiring each other this afternoon. Let's just hope it continues tonight.
.76. .77.
Yes, there was a memorable semi-final session at the Crucible that Clive Everton once described as snooker from the gods between Stephen and Ronnie O'Sullivan. And this has been of a similar standard. In a big match for both.
84.
Remember, they haven't won a title for a while, either of them. So there's pressure on to do so. They both produce the goods, but it's Mark Selby who is worthy of this lead.
I have to say, this is better than my session with Ronnie. This is better. I mean, as I said, there's not been an easy ball missed. They've potted everything that they're supposed to pot. It's just been incredible snooker to watch.
92. $93.
So the black for the third century of the afternoon. Mark Selby second to really cap a wonderful session of snooker. They will have a few hours to collect their thoughts ahead of tonight's final session, where John Higgins will be clearly looking for a quick start to stay in touch, but by no means out of this yet.
Thank you. 101.
We saw last week Neil Robertson, who'd been in the doldrums for a while, return in fine style to win the English Open. These great players, you write them off at your peril. OK, Selby's been relatively quiet last 18 months, but he's still, Mark Selby, capable of this sort of performance.
108.
Everything has come together, all parts of his game.
Thank you. 110. $113.
Just nothing easy, miss. Look at the live pot success. So in live play, 98% Selby, 95 Higgins. John Higgins has played really well himself, but the man at the table, well, he has really produced the goods. He must be feeling like he wants to just stay out there. There will, as I say, be a gap now of a couple of hours ahead of what promises to be a very exciting
122.
evening.
$128.
So it looks like a second total clearance for Selby. He made the 137 in frame 5. Higgins has had a century since. But what a finish to the afternoon's play. 135 from Mark Selby. A simply wonderful session of snooker. And at the halfway stage of the British Open final, it's Mark Selby with the lead, 5-3.